You want me sitting here?
I would like you sitting there.
Hello, I'm Reg Lumley. A lot of you may not know me. I've been worshiping here for 3.5 years. I worshiped at the previous church for 72 years. I've been trying to get to know all of you, and it's so hard. But I had an accident, and I had a miraculous healing, and I wanted to share that with you. It's been a moving time. I had before I go there, I'm a little bit sad right now as I just lost my 17-and-a-half-year-old dog 2 hours ago. It's going to be a big loss. She was more human than she was dog. Anyway, to get back, I've lived a busy life. I've been injured 8 times, and this is the third one that should have been fatal. For some reason, the Lord's kept me alive. And after those 2 real fatal something did happen in my life that I had a purpose. And I hope this time I still have a purpose too. I'm sorry if I cry. Part of the accident is left my feelings on my sleeve. And I cry at positive things. But the reason I want to tell you my story is because I had a miraculous healing. The doctors in London, when they first examined me, I'm glad they didn't tell me what they thought then. They just told me 3 weeks ago. They said, we felt you might live a year and you'd be in a vegetative state. I broke all their rules. They said that a brain damage, like I had a bad accident. I fell and smashed my head really bad, and I had a huge amount of brain damage. So they felt I might live a year and I'd be in a vegetative state. I'm here today, I'm back to normal. In fact, I'm living with more peace and more love today than ever before. Anyway, I had head injury this time. They found me on the street in Sarnia, and I'd smashed my head going down on cement. And I had massive brain damage. I was hospitalized for 2 weeks in the trauma unit. That's where the real serious people go that are yelling through the night with pain. And I was classified in that area. I could not lay down horizontal or my headaches would expand. I had headaches, I dealt with migraine headaches for 40 years. I thought they were the worst, but I had a headache for 2 months. It's beyond description. And I needed help. My son eventually got John O'Malley, a doctor, to take me on, and it's been a real blessing. And we found out through this that my son was adopted when he was 2 weeks old, and we found out that my doctor's wife is my son's half-sister. Small world. Now, the extent of my injuries, I was sent to London, and I was so well treated there. I was bleeding internally in my head, and for probably 2 or 3 months, Every 2 weeks, I'd have to go to London again. They'd open my head up and draw the blood out. They admitted me to the hospital and kept me there. I had 5 brain operations in 7 days. They opened up my skull, take the blood out, and they'd put a compound in like sand to coagulate the blood. But it wasn't working. So in that week I was in London. It was the 5 operations. The 5th one, they decided to do different. They cut a rectangle out of my scalp, about 5 inches by 3 inches, so they could get inside, and they cauterized all my blood vessels. And that stopped the bleeding once and for all. My son evidently got word that they're going to have my head opened up like that, and he gave him his cell phone, and they put the cell phone inside my head and took a picture of my brain. I bet nobody else got a picture of the brain, but it's quite interesting. It looked like a pound of butter sitting with some antennas on it. And there's all kinds of space in your head, just open space. One of the bad byproducts of having operations that close together is the medication they give to put you out under. If you have it too close together, like the next day sort of thing, you're going to hallucinate. And I tell you, there's nothing worse than hallucinating. Anyway, I hallucinated every night. And one night I had enough. In bare feet, pajamas, I headed home. I got to the front door before they apprehended me and got me back. I said, I don't want to hallucinate anymore. But they got me back. And next time I tried it a day later, the same thing. I don't even remember it, but they stopped me again. But it is not nice. I've been so well treated. We have a terrific medical system here. And beautiful, wonderful doctors. I never kept track of how many times they opened my head up. I could find out, I guess. But they use staples, thank goodness. Staples don't leave a scar. So my head looks normal. And my brain got knocked out of, it's like sat in a sump. And it got knocked out of the place where it normally sits and was back in my head a lot further. Just sitting there, still operating. Somehow, over the 3 years, it moved itself back into some place. It's back where it should be now. I could write a book on this. When you have massive brain damage, it's like you have a computer in your head, a massive computer, and it's all damaged. And everything, nearly everything stops working right. Bladder control, just, well, I don't want to tell you some of the things, but it was a rough time. And they felt I was only going to live a year, and they didn't expect healing. But my brain started healing, one thing after another. And when I go to London, they wouldn't say, hi, Reg. They said, here's my miracle man. It was a miracle. I had a miraculous healing. The doctors couldn't figure it out. I said, I believe it's prayer. I said, I got a wonderful family, friends, church. Everybody prayed for me. That's the only reason we got. I am so blessed. Now, when they told me that it'd be up to a year before the brain totally healed, I've set all kinds of new records. I'm 3.5 years from the accident, and I still have parts of my brain healing. 3 months ago, my body temperature was, I had to have my house set at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And I had to have a heating blanket on to sleep. My temperature in my body control was way off. One day it started to work, I guess. My body was on fire. I was perspiring every inch. I mean, hot. It could make anybody panic. I thought about going to emergency, calling an ambulance, but then I thought I'd have a 6-hour wait wherever I went. So I decided to stick it out on the bed. I took all my clothes off. We had a nice north breeze coming in the doors and breezeways. And I lay there for 2.5 hours. And then all of a sudden, my temperature started coming down. And it went down to a normal temperature. That's 3 years after the accident that healing took place. I'm back to normal now. I still take more pills than I like to, but I eliminate them in time. I have so much more peace. I have so much more love. I've come out of this as a better person. It's so peaceful. I hope nobody ever has to go through something like this. But I wanted to do this today for one main purpose: to encourage everybody to pray. There's no other explanation why I was healed. So thank you for praying for me, and thank you for your love. I need to get to know more of you. It's so hard. I have a little black book when I come on Sunday and a pen. I wish you'd come up and put your name in my book so I can get to know you better. Thank you again for all your love.